Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for the last Thursday in January.
Whew, Scott, that's not possible.
It is possible. Racing season's right around the corner.
It really is.
Depending on what series you're in, it's already started.
Yeah.
Why is my son watching? He never watches this show.
That's because he loves you.
I guess. All right. So welcome to the show number 117, coming at you live from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter/Periscope. In the studio with us tonight, we have the Larry Kingseeds.
Hello. How you doing?
Here we go. We'll turn your mic on now.
Oh, it's good now. Okay.
We have father and son race. Are you guys considered a team? Are you guys teammates?
I'd say we're Kingseed Racing.
Okay, that works. Sprint car racer primarily? We going with that?
Yes, yep.
Late model racer.
Retired.
You retired?
Oh,
No, he's getting back into this show.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about this. This will be interesting. So we'll be talking about these guys and about how you went the sprint car route instead of following in Dad's footsteps there.
Well,
But no, we'll get to that.
all right.
What is it? That's a teaser. We want people to stick around and come back and find that out. I just realized it says poop on that the window behind you.
Really?
There's some strange stuff that goes on in this studio when we're not here. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, and you can always listen to us on demand on your favorite podcasting platform, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google, whichever you want. And we want to thank
That sounds really professional, Scott.
Well, it must not have been me then.
No, wow.
Thanks to Big D's Pizza.
You've been practicing?
For giving the Kingseed some...
Yeah. Check this out, folks. How's
Oh, yeah.
yeah? How was that for a pizza?
It's like a size of a huge cake. It's good. It's good pizza, so
Yeah,
we appreciate
no,
that.
It's beyond good. It's
Oh,
great.
you
Fantastic.
turned off your mic.
I turned it off?
Yeah, you hit your button over there.
No, I didn't.
Well, I turned it back on. You're good now. You don't have your headphones on, so you couldn't hear that.
You know, well, shame on me.
All right.
I was too excited to get in and get to the pizza.
I know.
I forgot my headphones in the car.
We've been plowing that down, and thanks again to Dean Henry. If you want to win Big D's Pizza, John Young, was it, I believe?
Yes.
He went out there Sunday and was sent me he invited me to come, and I said I got other plans, and but let me know if it's any good. And he's like, oh, man, it was awesome.
Free pizza's always good, but this is extra good.
Yeah. So coming up a little bit later on tonight, we'll play How Many, and you'll have a chance to win your very own Big D's Pizza out there in Clyde, courtesy of Dean Henry there, who is majorly involved in motorsports and supporting motorsports, including, is he support both you guys?
mainly just him.
Mainly just him?
Yeah,
He's a sprint car guy.
Well, he helps me out because I get something to eat on race nights.
Oh, well, that's why you stick with him, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. We have some breaking news as we're coming in tonight. You can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
Because you don't have your headphones on.
His headphones are here.
It's the breaking news thing. Unfortunately,
Put them on, Larry. You're
Put it
okay.
on, boy.
yeah, you got to hear the breaking news music.
That's
Better hurry
it.
up. It's going to end soon. You hear it? It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's some good stuff. Sounds professional.
It does.
Yeah. Some sad news. That was a hard transition going from that. John Andretti lost his battle with cancer this afternoon at the age of 56. His career included wins in kart, IMSA GTP, or IMSA GTP,
Yes.
Rolex Sports Car Series, and, of course, NASCAR. He was the nephew of Indy 500 winner Mario Andretti. So,
And cousin to Michael.
oh, yeah, I forgot about him, too. Yeah. So, big racing
John was a
fan.
good guy. He
was.
really
I actually
was.
liked him. He used to run Petty's 43,
Right.
didn't he? Yeah.
Yes. He wasn't cocky or arrogant. He was just a straight-out nice guy.
Did he do the Indy and Coca-Cola 600? Was he one of those drivers that did that?
I don't,
thought he
Scott.
did.
I don't think so, but
Maybe, okay.
maybe.
But maybe. Well, if you know, leave us a comment on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube or Twitter and you leave a comment there, I'm not going to see it till later. I apologize. I can only monitor one thing. I got too many things going on at once. Before we get to the Kingseeds, And so, the Larrys. Which do you
Yep.
prefer? How do people address you guys?
This is my
He's
brother
little.
Larry and my other brother Larry.
We always called him Little Larry because he's
Little Larry?
up until like last year he was really short and small, and
5'3".
he tried to play basketball, but he was a little small.
He could dribble.
He was a good bench warmer.
So we'll be talking about them here, or talking to those guys here in just a second. Make sure to give Ron Miller Race Cars a call. 734-856-7223. Race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, everything a racer needs.
Things are really starting to fire up, Scott. Racers are getting excited.
I was wondering if that's why you were late, because I know you were excited about Big D's Pizza.
Absolutely.
Figured you'd be here early.
It was a big tease, you know. You sent me
I
that
saw
text.
you,
Ah,
Mitcher.
man.
I don't even take selfies of myself, but I had to take one of me eating the pizza and send that to you and say, hey,
Yeah, well.
pizza's here. Yeah, Dave Kemmer says, yeah, he was the first one to do. I thought so.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave. I thought Andretti did the double. What is it called? What do they call that? When they run the Indy 500 and
Insanity
That's a lot of racing. It's a lot of
Yeah.
miles, and even
in
getting
one
there.
day.
Yeah. Let's talk about some racing action from this past weekend here. Not much news to get to either, so we'll be talking to these guys most of the show tonight. The Dryden Extreme Dirt Car Series had their race at Cochran Speedway canceled due to rain. Ross Bales set a new track record on Sunday in action at Cherokee Speedway in South Carolina. He led off 40 laps for the win. The last race of that Dryden Extreme Dirt Car Series is scheduled for Modoc Raceway. Is that how you pronounce that? M-O-D-O-C.
Modoc, yeah.
It's in South Carolina. That's going to be Saturday, February 29th.
Did you happen to catch MAV TV, the modified race from Virginia Speedway? It was tape delayed. It was an older race.
I don't have MAV TV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. You like to rub that in.
Yeah. Anyway, Taylor Cook was there.
Was he?
Yeah. Started. I think he started sixth, maybe fifth. Got in a little jingle early on, and had to go to the tail. And brilliant drive up to third. I don't know if they'll show it again.
When was this? When was the race actually run?
Last fall.
Okay.
It was a big deal race.
Gotcha.
But
Nice.
from the tail,
Watching reruns during the off season.
yeah, from the tail up to third, it was fun to watch.
Nice. Well, hopefully we see him up this area
Yeah.
again with the Summer Nationals. He tends to at least hit Oakshade for that. Although
Well, that last week is not real far from here. The last week of the Summer Nationals, and that could be a
Taylor Cook's based out of North Carolina, isn't he?
right.
So
But he's got a lot of family up here, so there's always a
lot of cooks
there's
up here,
always a
right,
shop to work from.
all right. The Rolex 24 was this past weekend, and also that had to do with last week's how many laps
You
would be
did.
completed, and it was more than any of us guessed. But we'll cover that a little bit later. Wayne,
It set a record.
it did set a record, and we talked about the record before because that was the only number I had to go on from before. Was I don't even,
It was 808 was the old record, I
I think so, something like that. But we'll get to that.
Blowed that one away.
Wayne Taylor Racing's number 10 Cadillac DPI VR dominated the 58th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Took the overall victory there. They led 493 of the race record, 833 laps. That's a lot of circuits around. And it's not just around the oval because they got the road course part that goes through there. It's like a 3 1/4 mile track, I think. Mm-hmm. So 3 1/4 miles times 808 is a lot of miles.
Yeah, and it's not all at 200 miles an hour. There's a lot of chicanes and switchbacks and
Driver changes.
all that road racy stuff, yeah.
Road racy stuff. The Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic was going on down under. James McFadden, he nursed a sick engine to victory in the 48th Annual Southwest Conveyancing Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic at I don't even know why I attempted this.
Warrnambool?
Is that it? It looks a lot harder than that. Warrnambool, Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. 88 cars were entered, the Australian equivalent to the Knoxville Nationals. So that's a pretty big deal down there.
Yeah, they pulled big crowds too in the grandstands, not just large car counts. So The national title races, whether it's sprint cars, late models,
I think Buddy was down there and ran that,
yeah,
too.
they pack the place.
That's pretty much all the action from this past weekend. This weekend, there's a little bit of stuff going on. There's also a Super Bowl going on, so...
What?
Yeah, this weird thing a lot of people watch for some reason.
Basketball?
Yeah, it's because they throw the ball into a bowl.
Oh, okay.
They change it from a basket, it's a bowl ball.
You're a sick puppy, Scott.
Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series kicks off their season tomorrow night, and also Saturday at Golden Isle Speedway in Georgia. Why did I have that there?
I don't know.
I'm messing up my notes because I was going to talk about the All-Star stuff. Well, we'll talk about that. The Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions will kick off their season at Volusia Speedway Park in Florida with 2 nights, Wednesday and next Thursday, I do believe, the 5th and 6th.
And that starts.
So racing is.
And that starts almost a month of racing down there.
A lot of racing in Florida and Daytona, or leading up to the Daytona 500. So, and I think the first race at Daytona is going to be the ARCA race, and that's like on that Friday, a week from tomorrow.
A week from, yes.
A week from tomorrow, yeah. Which I'm kind of excited to watch because I got David Gravel running that, and both the girls will be in that, Haley and Natalie.
Ought to be interesting.
It ought to be, yeah.
He got his picture with Haley last year
Did he?
at Toledo.
I did too.
Yeah.
You were in that same line.
Well, no, he actually just kind of butted in front of all them people in that line.
Yeah, I did. I
Excuse me, I'm a driver. Excuse me. I'm sure you recognize me.
Racers need to get to the front. So
He didn't want to wait.
nice.
It was a really long line too. I mean, it went down half the front stretch, I think.
Yeah. Well, you have to get there early.
We were there early.
Okay.
What did you think of the flyover?
That was unbelievable.
It was.
That plane was huge.
And it lumbered across. And
Yeah, it was like going slow.
oh my gosh,
That was probably one of the coolest things I've seen.
You know, I've seen a lot of flyovers at racetracks, and that may be the best one.
Yep. There it goes.
Somebody cutting donuts out in the parking lot.
Somebody forgot to turn their phone down.
I
It was
thought,
my crew chief, actually.
really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know.
and she's not listening.
I guess not.
Ooh, that's sad, Scott.
Speaking of ARCA, they announced some changes to its point structure to bring it in line with NASCAR now that it is owned by
that's part
NASCAR,
of-
and
yeah.
they've kind of combined the K&N East and West Series into that, putting that under the ARCA umbrella. Winners will now be awarded 43 points plus 3 bonus points for a win. I didn't get that. 42 for second, 41 for third, and 1 point deduction back through the remainder of the field. There's other bonus point opportunities in there as well.
Now, is this going to be a traditional point structure, or are they going to do a chase format too?
I don't know.
Don't know.
We'll have to get
You're
Charlie
not
back in
saying.
here. I don't. I kind of. It's like one of those. There's another podcast I listen to quite a bit, and it's
Right.
when something kind of drones on for a while, like probably I do. I get dreamweavered, is what they call it. Yeah, I just kind of zone out. It's like, this is whatever. This points, okay. So I didn't read anymore. We'll have to get Charlie on to answer that. Some more sad news. John Ray, one of Talladega Superspeedway's treasured family members, whose diesel big rig sported a giant American flag. Have you seen that? You know,
I have.
thing's huge. They used to do that during the national anthem. He has passed away. The former NASCAR driver, and I didn't realize he was a former NASCAR driver. He was 82 years old. He was not just a trucker. He was, of course, as I just said, a race car driver. He actually drove in the NASCAR Cup Series from 74 to 76. Competed in 8 races, 4 at Talladega and 4 at Daytona, where an accident ended his driving career.
A lot of those truck drivers also have to do double duty as cooks for the crew during the race weekends.
I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know this?
Scott, who are you talking to? Come on, man.
The Professor, Ron Miller. All right. The NASCAR Hall of Fame induction ceremony is tomorrow night. That's going to be on NBCSN at 8 p.m. We mentioned Lucas Oil Late Model Series kicks off their season tomorrow night. They also have announced some broadcasting deals with MAV TV Motorsports Network, NBCSN, CBS Sports Network, CBS. They're all going to show Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series on network television this year, including 5 live races on MAV TV. Dirt on Dirt will also be streaming a lot of the races, including, I believe, this weekend's action. So,
Wonder if any of the Florida races will be live. Probably not.
Trying to remember. I was looking at the list, and I don't remember. I'd have to look. Check out the Lucas Oil Late Model Series website, I guess, for more information on that. This one last story here. The other was, for some reason I doubled up, so it actually looks like I have more news than there was actually, because they repeated some things. The All-Stars, we already talked about that. They're kicking off their season on Wednesday. See, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool story I saw today. This actually was a couple days ago, but Sharon Speedway. Have you ever been there?
No.
Hartford, Ohio. How about you guys?
No. I've been there a long time ago.
Is it a nice place? I've never been there.
Well, when I was there, I think it was bigger than it is now. I think they've made it smaller.
I think it's a 3/8 mile now.
It was in the probably 90s last time I was there.
Well, they announced this new deal called a infield fan zone, and it's going to be starting when the track hosts the All-Star Circuit of Champions on May 2nd. Now, fans will have a unique opportunity to experience racing from a grassy infield viewing area at no additional charge.
Really?
The fan zone will have a concession stand and restrooms. There will be certain times during the night when fans can cross the track between the grandstands and the infield. I thought it was a kind of cool idea. Something different.
Mm-hmm. Scott, I'm here to tell you the view from the infield is totally different. I mean, it looks like the cars are going twice as fast as they are when you're looking from the outside of the track.
Yeah, when I used to wreck or something happened on the car, I'd go to the infield and I'd look out there and I'd see them guys coming by and I said, man, I was out there going that fast.
No, they just turned up the wick after I pulled off.
I'm telling you, it is really faster looking.
It really
when you're
does.
in the infield.
Absolutely.
So it looks like they're putting a wall, kind of. It's more towards turns 3 and 4 in that kind of half of the infield where it's going to be grassed, and they got a concrete retaining wall.
And it's a 3/8 mile track, so it would be same size as most of the tracks in our area.
It's probably 2/3 of the infield is going to be kind of from what it looked like in the little map I saw. But it was a cool idea. I mean, the tracks are trying to find ways to get fans to new fans there and maintain the ones that they have. And I thought this was kind of a cool deal. And it's not
how are the fans going to get in there?
Well, it said that there's certain times during the night when fans can cross the track between the grandstands and infield. So I guess maybe
I was just wondering if there was a lottery or if
how do they get? Yeah, I don't know if. That's a good question.
You hit the lottery, you'd be in the pits side.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a maximum occupancy rule with that.
Well, I would think you're going to have people standing on top of each other.
Well, it's a big area, but it's not going to be like if you're in the middle of that fan zone, you're probably not going to see much because there's going to be a sea of people between you and the track. So you're probably going to be wanting to be around the edge of that. So I'm guessing that when most of those spots have filled up, that people will probably go back to the grandstands. But it gives the track more seating capacity, I guess you could say. More fan capacity, standing room only.
Right? Yeah.
So now I saw that and I thought that was
that's
kind of
pretty
a cool
cool.
idea. Yeah, it's something different. I mean, it probably is going to cost the track to do it a little bit more because you have the additional expense of worrying about people crossing the track, number one, but then you have restroom facility, bless you, restroom facility and a concession stand to man in the infield. But then again, they could make some money on the concessions there too.
A couple extra porta potties, no big deal.
There you go. So that's it for the news that I have for this week. Like I said, pretty slow week. Sure don't like watching from the infield, but it's a different perspective. That's
Yep.
Roddy says that.
No.
Yeah. You don't like watching if you're a race car driver and you were in the race.
It's a bad thing.
Usually something's
At
bad
least
has
at the
happened.
tracks. At least at the tracks that we frequent, watching from the infield is usually bad.
No. So welcoming into the studio with us tonight here in the Ron Miller Race Car Studio.
Yeah.
Live in Ron Miller's race shop. We're upstairs. He's got a...
I thought it was the back. I thought it was just the back room of the shop.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
Actually, there is a pretty nice office upstairs that's used for storage, but
Well, when we get kicked out of here, maybe we'll.
That's
have to
it. We
use
could do it.
Then we'll be in the Ron Miller Race Cars shop
Annex.
studios. Yeah. Anyways, joining us tonight, Thanks to Dean Henry, actually, for hooking us up on this.
Yeah,
And
thanks, Dean Henry.
You didn't even need to bring the pizza. That was more of a, I don't know, a ploy to get free pizza from Dean to say, yeah, if you get someone to bring us pizza, they can come on the show. But actually, I kind of was interested in talking to you guys because you guys are kind of an interesting story. You've been driving late models for, how long have you been driving late? It's been years.
93, 94.
And
99.
then your son, Junior here, is, I guess he ran a couple times in the late model, and then now he's doing the sprint car thing. So how does that happen? I mean, is this his choice, or did you kind of push him that way? What's the dynamics here? Because there's sprint car people and late model people, and you guys are both.
Well, we kind of live in sprint car world over there in Ohio. We're close to Attica and Fremont. And I had a late model, and he wanted to race, and we were doing the go-karting, and we put a seat, and he helped me build we built a steel motor. We were going to run that Fremont steel block class over there. And we got it done about halfway through the season, and we ran one race at Fremont.
Yep.
And then we ran Oakshade, the topless race. He raced up there in it. Well, during all that time we were building and working on that car, another deal came up with the sprint car. A guy had a sprint car for sale, kind of like a buyout, buy everything, motor, car, spare parts. And it was a good deal, so I bought it.
I didn't know anything about it until he brought me over there.
About the sprint car?
Yep.
So was that something that you were more interested in, or were you happy running the late model?
I was happy running the late model, but I didn't know anything about sprint car racing until I got him on.
Well, the late model was it was hard to get help in him. I mean, I had a lot of help through all my days of racing, and guys would come and get married and girlfriends and get bored, and you know how it goes.
I know how that goes.
So it was to the point I was over there working, me and him, just no help, nobody really interested in the late model because we were in sprint car land, where everybody around me, like 4 or 5 of my buddies, get the sprint car, we'll help you. I said, okay, so now we have help.
Well, why didn't you guys tell me that years ago? Yeah, we'd have had a couple of sprint cars, right?
They actually, Ron, they're really easy to work on.
Are they?
I mean, that late model would take you, you know what it takes to
I
build a
do.
late model. I ain't going to
I
tell
do.
you. That sprint car, we wrecked one on a Wednesday. Thursday, we put a whole brand new car together and raced it on Friday.
Wow.
I mean, it was 4th of July. That wasn't the way I wanted to spend my 4th of July day, but we got it done.
So you got the sprint car with the intention of having Larry Kingseed Jr. run it, correct? Or was there plans for you to run it?
No, just for him.
Okay.
And football in the way.
What was your reaction when you found out he got the car?
I thought he was joking with me at first, and then he kept on telling me he was going to Atomic, so kept on laughing at him, and then he told me he was leaving for Atomic that day. I was like, no, you're not.
That's when I raced it.
Yeah.
I raced the sprint car this year.
So did you? Okay.
Yes. He had a football game and he couldn't make it, and I wanted to see what the car, what adjustments we were doing, what the feedback from the car driver. Well, I figured the car was really tight, so. But I didn't like racing the sprint car.
Why not? This is a 305, right?
Yeah, but it's like trying to crawl up underneath that desk and sit there for an hour. I mean, it was really uncomfortable for me. Okay. It wasn't like the late model where you laid back in the seat and had your beer cup holder here, and you was waving at everybody. No, you was up in there, and it was definitely a different experience.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your racing career first, and then we're going to come back to you and learn more about what you've done and what you have planned to do. Mm-hmm. The first thing I had mentioned, actually, and the first thing I always think of when I hear Larry Kingseed Jr., or Larry Kingseed, excuse me, was big accident that I saw shortly after I started announcing at Oakshade Raceway. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Starting on the pole of the late model feature event. We're guessing early 2000s this was.
Yep.
Walk us through what happened there.
Well, I coming off of 4 there, and I get the green flag. And I see the flagman waving, and I see, you know how it is when you're in the front, Ron. You don't see no other cars. I'm going into turn 1. I'm going to lead this thing through turn 1 and 2.
I'm going to at least lead one.
Yeah, and nobody was. Well, next thing I know, I'm looking at the sky. I don't know if I drifted up on the guy or he'd come down on me. He got in my right rear, which turned the front of the car right straight to the wall, and it climbed straight up the wall right after the flagman. And I think I barrel rolled down the wall multiple times.
It was a pretty spectacular crash.
Yeah.
Obviously, you couldn't see it from the outside, but
Yeah.
when it ended up, you couldn't tell if the car ended up upside down or right side. It was just a pile of sheet metal.
Well, one lesson I learned off of that, I taught him, was always take your steering wheel off before you do anything else.
Why is that?
Well, I was upside down in that car that day, or that night, whatever you want to say it was, and I undid my seatbelts. First thing, I want to get out of this thing. I don't like it no more. I'm upside down. Well, when I took the seatbelts off, I laid right up against the steering wheel, all my weight.
Mr.
Well,
Gravity jumped in and helped.
and I tried to pull that steering wheel off, and I couldn't pull my, So luckily, a track worker, I don't know who it was. I mean, there's fuel running all over the place. I mean, it's just, I'm in
That's a
a
scary
puddle of fuel.
situation, yeah.
He got up under there with his fist and backhanded that steering wheel to pop it off, and I got out of that thing. But that's always a lesson I always
Little
learn.
scary incident for you.
Yeah, I didn't like the feeling of not being able to get the steering wheel off. I felt like I was trapped in there.
Gotcha, yeah.
So now steering wheel always comes off and out the window, and then the belts.
All right, so have you run? You guys both run number 21. What's the origins of that number?
I think it was a football number, maybe, from when I played football.
The football number was 53.
That was one of them. I played multiple grades of football.
27 too.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the 21.
Like the 20, and you didn't have a problem with the 21?
No, I had number 1 in kid carts when I was growing up. Then we changed 21 like a year later because my sister was 21.
Okay. So you're okay with continuing to run 21?
Oh yeah.
It's got a good name behind it, right?
So when you had the crate car, did you guys ever have the opportunity of racing together?
No.
Nope.
No.
That's
No,
it's different.
It was. I was racing, and he was go-kart racing, and my racing was almost interfering with his go-kart racing. So one year I decided, well, we're just going to go go-kart racing now and concentrate all my time and effort on him. And then that following year we went in the late model. But he was really spectacular in the go-kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he impressed me. I mean, it was one of them deals where you start racing, you don't know if you're ever going to beat any of these guys, and then the next thing you know, he's winning everywhere we go. And it wasn't nothing I don't think I was doing. I think he was just smooth. And
What age was that you started winning in the go-karts?
8.
well,
You started when you were 4, I think I read, right?
I won when I was 4, 5, and 6. Moved up a class. And like 2 years, I was like going like 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And then that one year I just popped off and won like 30 features that one year.
yeah, you won a lot of races.
Yeah.
I think he's got like 20 some feature wins at Little Eldora.
Got a lot of trophies?
22. Yeah.
I know. I count them all.
21 actually, I think. I'm not sure.
But Little Eldora races on Sunday afternoon, so it's dry, slick. It's all throttle, and don't overdrive the corner and be smooth. And
Did you ever race against, what was his name? Oliver Osborne.
No, he's
He's younger than you.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would put next to him and talk to him.
okay.
We were really good friends with him.
He's a pretty cool
Yeah.
kid, isn't he?
We met a lot of friends through go-kart racing. A lot of good people.
Go-kart racing's pretty huge.
It is.
And that's a kind of an all-over thing. That's there's tracks everywhere.
Oh, yeah. We've raced, Mississippi, North Carolina,
Florida.
Florida,
Wow.
Kentucky.
So what do you guys do during the off season to keep busy?
Indoor go-karts.
Yeah, we do a lot of indoor go-karts, but
Okay.
seems like a lot of work now. We got a sprint car, because
Now,
sprint car's not a lot of work, but it's a lot of money.
did you run the Rumble this year?
No, I went to it though. Like, I went to
You've
watch
run it before, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I
That's-
won 2 aces there. Then one night on Friday night,
How long ago was that?
2017.
It was
December.
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago. It was December 2017.
How cool is that running indoors there in Fort Wayne?
It was sketchy. It was cool though. It was fun.
Yeah, that place makes me nervous.
Does it? Why is that?
Oh, they're going so fast, and they got a concrete wall around there, and I've seen some pretty nasty wrecks over there. So.
I hit a couple of them tractor tires and flipped a couple of times over there.
I don't recommend that.
I don't either.
Recommend against that. So back to you, Senior, Larry Kingseed Sr. What is there any one race that kind of sticks out as the most memorable race in your career? I know you've probably had lots of races.
I got one for him.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead then.
His last year for the championship, for the 6th championship, started dead last, came up to win the race, did donuts in the front stretch to win the championship, and got DQ'd.
That ain't too memorable.
For me,
It's memorable.
That was a go-kart?
No, that was him.
Late model?
That was
Late
the
model?
Attica, yeah.
6th championship.
You got
DQ'd.
just DQ'd for doing donuts?
And donuts on the horse track, yeah.
I do think I remember hearing something about that now.
Everybody always wanted me to put a sticker on the car that said free donuts.
Do you have any grudges about that?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I really didn't like what the outcome was. I mean, at the time I was doing it, it was pretty cool. But
Any regrets then?
yeah, I wouldn't do it again.
Okay.
Lesson learned.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Is that a rule? Is that like a
I obviously it was after I done it. I figured it out, but I didn't.
Larry Kingseed rule?
I heard somebody else did it before me and got disqualified, but I'm not sure who that was, and I didn't know about it at the time, or I probably wouldn't have did it myself.
Gotcha. Well, that's got to be an emotional roller coaster going from a high to. When did you find out that you were being DQ'd?
Right there on the front stretch.
Oh, geez.
I got the horse track. Took the
Congratulations, Larry.
Took the trophy from me and gave it to the next guy.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So, what do you have a favorite track that you've run?
I always liked Millstream. That was my favorite.
How disappointed were you when? How excited were you actually when it kind of came back a little bit there in the late 2000s?
I enjoyed it. We went down there, ran second one night. I thought I was going to win it, and Rusty passed me on the bottom. But other than that, I mean, I raced street stocks down there for like 7, 8 years, and had really good success. The track that's when we parked at the infield.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We'd stand on top of the van and get dizzy, turn around watching.
Well, if you ever want to become a promoter, maybe you could give Greg a call and
Who owns it?
Greg Rowe.
Greg Rowe.
Hmm.
Then we're just
good.
not.
No, we're not going there.
Is the track still? I mean,
The track's still there, absolutely.
how long ago was that since we raced there? 4 or 5 years?
I think 4.
2012, right?
No, it was. I want to say 15 or 16. So yeah, it's been. The Hammers were running it, and it wasn't not related to
Right.
me. Oh, but I want to say that was like maybe 16. It wasn't that long. It was a couple. It was a
That'd be
year.
4 years. So
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's
Yeah, my dad.
bringing
actually,
me down.
My dad actually worked there. He was a guy that would
I worked there.
motion you on the track.
okay.
He worked at Fremont too. He would back when you had the cone on turn 3 in the backstretch. He'd be the guy pulling the cone back in.
The cone guy. They called the cone guy at Oakshade when they had that cone head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dope with the rope. Yeah. All kinds of names.
Don't hold on to the rope real hard, because if somebody runs it over, it's going.
Yeah, don't wrap it around your hand.
it's a bad idea.
Yep.
So what's your plans for this year? I know you mentioned something about retirement. Is that something that's happened?
Yeah, I'm pretty much focusing on him on the sprint car right now.
But the car's still in the garage.
Car's in the garage. If anybody's wanting to come buy it or look at it, it could be for sale. But
2013.
I hate to give anything away.
But if it doesn't sell and he doesn't have a weekend where he's
Well, that was
running,
the plan last year. We were going to try to race that car a couple of times, and for some
With
reason,
Junior?
yeah, Junior was going to race it. We were going to bring it up here at Oakshade,
Uh-huh.
but I think with the schedule, nothing ever came up.
Okay.
Or if it did come up, we were like, finally got a day off.
So when was the last time you actually were in the late model racing?
2014?
15,
No,
Has it been that long?
I think so.
I did not realize that. Yeah. Well, of course, I didn't realize it was Junior in the car running that topless show at that time.
That was pretty cool.
No, I know. What, running without the top on?
Yeah.
I did that. It was weird. I didn't like it. That's just me. So any plans to run a race if the opportunity should come up?
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't put it by me, but I'm just trying to keep him going straight. And
So he's your priority.
Yep.
The sprint car team right now.
yeah,
is the
I'm
priority.
like the wrench guy now.
Okay. One last question for you before we get to Junior here. Who do you have winning this year's Super Bowl?
Cleveland Browns. The next year. I mean, that's next year.
Oh,
Next year's Super Bowl.
well, you've
Well,
lost that too.
Beginning of
so-
the year, I would have picked the Browns. But
Yeah, it's not a good pick.
Chiefs.
I'm a Browns fan, but that's not a good
hey,
pick.
we are too. And when we found out the Browns were going to be so good this year, we were kind of disappointed because we usually make it to a Browns game like when they're about 2-8 or something. We get in for $10-12.
Yeah, yeah. I think the last Browns game was their one win when they went 1-15 a couple of years ago.
I got a friend that really likes the 49ers.
Who's that?
Chuck.
Chuck.
Oh, I like the Chiefs, but
I like the fact that the Patriots aren't in it.
yeah, it's going to be different, ain't it?
Yeah. So, anyways, moving on to Junior here. Let's say I've actually covered some of my questions here already. So, you guys got the sprint car, and so you guys are getting lots of help now with the sprint car.
Yeah, so a lot of help. A lot more help than he had with the late model.
When did you first run the sprint car? Was it
I think-
the end of 18?
Yeah,
It'd
end of 18
Yeah.
at Attica.
And how'd you do?
Not so good. A lot different.
You ran the last race of Fremont too, I think, in it.
Yeah, I went like three or four races in it.
How big of an adjustment was it going from a go-kart to running a couple races in a late model to going to a sprint car?
It was a lot different. In the late model, you had to push on the brakes to go turn sideways, and then keep going on the gas, or
You keep it lifted up.
yeah, or push up the racetrack. I figured that out at Fremont. And at Oakshade, I adjusted to it and did decent in the B main. Then going to sprint car was a lot different because you're sitting straight up and like this.
But how do you drive it different? I mean, as far as using the gas and the brake.
Yeah, you can't like get off the gas too much, or you dump the car, and you have to ride the brake slowly. In the late model, you have to like stomp on the brakes a little bit, and like you can like lift and stuff. Late model more than you can with the sprint car.
With the sprint car, have you learned to trust the wing, that the wing is going to keep you straight?
Yeah, I've trusted that at the end of the year. They said to just go straight and don't lift. I trusted that at Waynesfield, in dry, second or third. I trusted it, and it was fast. Set 15th or 14th quick.
Yeah, he was fast at Waynesfield.
In like a 360 show. Fastest 305 there.
Was it scary the first time driving the sprint car?
Yeah, because a couple of times coming out of turn 4, I was like going straight to the wall. So I was kind of nervous, but
I'm guessing you feel a little bit more exposed in the sprint car than you would in the late model.
oh yeah. If I got in the late model, I'd probably be a lot better than I was last time. But I feel so much more comfortable in this sprint car.
How about upside down? Have you tried that yet?
Yeah, I tried that 2 times actually.
Oh, right.
He's got me tied now already. Took me 15, 20 years to get 2 times, and he did it in 1 year.
You know, the late models, with the attitude of the cars, they're going upside down a lot more. So
Yeah, I noticed that last year. I seen a
What?
couple flips watching
yeah.
Attica.
Of all the tracks I've raced at, the only place I flipped is Oakshade. Both on the front stretch.
both
I don't remember the other one. I just remember the bad
The
one.
other one wasn't too bad.
No.
He just flipped it upside down.
Yeah, they pushed it back over, and we fixed it and went back out.
So what happened when you got upside down each time?
Which one?
Both of them. What happened the first one?
First one, you ran the pole.
Yeah, first one I started on the pole.
Something about the Kingseed
Yeah, the
starting
pole.
on the pole. This is
a cursed position.
This is sounding
Hey,
repetitious.
first lap, too.
Oh no!
I went in the corner. Me and Sean running by side, and I was 2-0 on the straightaway because like my first time I was starting on the pole, so like I didn't know what to do. So I was like 2-0 on the straightaway, and when I went in the corner, I cut the corner off too much, so I drifted up and hit his right wheel with my left wheel with my right wheel, and jumped his left
Yeah,
wheel,
his right rear kind of jumped over his left rear, which
and it dug into the track and flipped. It wasn't even bad.
it was in front of the whole field
Yeah, it was in
at
front
the
of
start of the race.
Yeah, that was the bad part.
Yeah.
Use up a wing.
Oh yeah, we used used up a white wheel, torsion,
Yeah, bent the front torsion bar tubes.
bent the
All
torsion
right.
tubes.
How scared were you when that happened?
I wasn't too scared. I was just scared of when I was upside down and looking to my left and I see all these cars going around
It's got to be
me.
a little freaky.
Yeah, and then I did what his advice was: take the steering wheel off first.
All right,
get
good
out,
advice. So what happened the second time?
Second time, I started in the pole.
Again?
Yeah,
It's
first
a
lap
whole
too.
thing.
Yeah, is it the
I'm
pole?
seeing a pattern here,
Yeah.
Scott.
First lap.
So this was 360 race I was fast at, and
Guy kind of just slid up and took his front end out going in the corner.
so I failed side job.
Where was this at?
Waynesfield.
Yeah,
It was
Waynesfield.
3 and 4. And when he hit me, my car went to the right and got up on 2 wheels. I hit the wall
It was
And-
ugly.
and yeah, flipped, went upside down, and he
I was the first guy in the car.
he was the first guy.
I was going to say, what's going through your mind watching?
I was standing there right there in turn 4, right where they push him off, and he come around, and I've seen some bad sprint car wrecks, and I knew this one was pretty ugly.
I hit the wall head on,
Yeah,
and it was I was wide open too. I was fast too.
that was we flipped at Fremont on Saturday,
and got a call
and the
back
car
up,
bent the front torsion bar, so we had another car, so we
shake it
took the
down,
motor out of that and everything, put it in this car, went to Waynesfield
to shake it down.
on Wednesday to shake it down because we had a show at Attica on Friday. Well, we destroyed that car in that wreck there on Wednesday. So I built 2 cars, actually.
No, I built 2 cars.
And one
drank-
between
you drank
Saturday
beer.
and Friday.
So you guys are busy.
It was 4th of July. I think the temperature was 99 degrees out.
And how much do you help out working on the car?
I do.
crunching on it?
I do most of it. Like he helps a little bit, but he makes me. Like,
Do you tell him what to do?
Sometimes I have to, but sometimes he has to tell me what to do. But like,
I got to keep them involved.
Gotcha.
The only way you learn something is to do it yourself.
Absolutely. So I saw this video on your Facebook page where you're driving down the road and you passed a cop.
Oh.
Driving down the road in the sprint car and you passed a cop. What was it? Who was behind the wheel?
That'd be him.
Okay.
That'd be State Route, 412?
412, yeah.
Busy State Route.
So what's the story with that?
So we was going to start the sprint car up, went down, started it up, kept it on, turned around, still getting pushed. Then my dad seen the cops coming. We seen them coming down.
Yeah, me and a couple of buddies were standing in the driveway. They took the car down the road, turned it around, went to push it, started to drive it, how you could drive it back. Well, we were standing there, and it's kind of like a hill, and here comes the sheriff right over the hill. Me and my buddy, we almost turned around, went to hide. You know, we thought there was gonna be big trouble going on here.
Yeah, but
They didn't stop?
No,
No, we had it on GoPro and everything. It got a lot of likes there, didn't it? Or shared.
20.2 or 4 K views on that.
Now, why'd you have the GoPro on it? Did you know you were going to capture
No,
a cop car?
No,
That was his first time ever.
That was my
starting.
first time ever using a GoPro on a sprint car. I was just doing camera angles.
Gotcha.
See, we were working on the motor, and he was over playing the GoPro.
Well, that's important stuff.
Yeah,
It's
he
very
was doing
important.
the stuff.
It looked like the wing wasn't on for that.
No
No.
wing on for that.
I'm guessing the wing's probably going to mess with your camera angle a little.
So the officer had a pretty good sense of humor then.
I think it was
She
and she went right on by.
she looked at me.
She must have thought it was a tractor or something. Kind of on the farm area.
Yeah.
Look at this red tractor coming at me.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
some
going to
little-
plow the fields.
Just some little kid, no big deal.
Yeah, it's 15 years old driving down the highway.
Now we talked a little bit about your success in the go-karts. How many years have you been doing that? You've been doing it since you were 4 and you're 15 now?
Yeah,
So you've been doing that over 10 years.
like 11 years, I'm pretty sure.
And how long do you plan to continue doing that? I'm guessing you've cut back now that you're running the sprint car.
A bunch of 410 drivers told me to focus on one thing because I know they told me what happened when they tried to focus on 2 things.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
kind of like John Ivey.
Let me ask you this: Are they good 410 drivers?
Yeah,
Okay, I
Yeah.
would listen to them then.
yeah.
Probably got good advice.
Yep.
It's like they told me cut back on the go-kart and other stuff. So last year we only raced 1 or 2 go-kart races. We raced a 100 lapper. I probably went 75 laps out of that. I went 75 laps.
Why don't you go 100?
Go put the engine back and the engine cord isn't there. So we was on like 5th, 6th out of like 15. So
Okay. So, are you going to be doing any go-kart races this year?
We'll probably do a few. We got the
few.
go-kart
You still
stuff
got
still.
that.
we still, we got a go-kart, 2 go-karts actually.
Where all do you run other than Little E?
Martinsville.
Yeah, Martinsville.
Okay.
We did Columbus down there at the Hog Barn. I don't know if we're going to do that again here coming up at the end of the month. End of February, I think it is.
Need tires.
Need tires. That's the thing. Go-karts, you need tires.
What all tracks did you get to this past year? You did Attica,
With the
Fremont,
sprint car.
Yeah, with the sprint car. Sorry.
Attica, Fremont, Waynesfield. That's about it.
Do you,
Right?
do you enjoy one more than the other of those tracks? I guess you did pretty good at Waynesfield. Right?
Waynesfield. I liked Waynesfield. It was
I hear
bad.
lots of good things about Waynesfield.
We've been hearing a lot about that, Scott.
Yeah.
It was fast. It was like wide open. I came in after practice, after qualify, like 15th, like fastest 305 there. And when I pulled in, I was like, I think it's too fast for me.
And
Really?
I didn't realize this, but Dwayne Hancock just chimed in here. You were the Attica Fremont Championship Series 305 Rookie of the Year, too.
Yes. Yep.
So you were running that series.
Yeah,
Where
but-
would you end up in the points?
For that one?
11th.
No, that's Fremont. Fremont was I was
AFCS, you were 11th.
no AFCS. I was 15th or 14th.
Okay.
Still, that's pretty good for your first year
Yeah.
in a sprint car.
Yeah, I wish we could have done better if I didn't miss those one show, and he jumped in it. But I think we could have been top 10 if we
No,
win the one show.
You mentioned that you had a football game. You play football.
Yeah, I do play football.
What position you play?
I play fullback and linebacker.
So you do offense and defense.
Yeah,
Both sides of the ball, Scott.
Which do you prefer?
I like hitting people.
You like the defense.
I hit both, like on both sides though, because it's black. But I like if I'm not offense. I like catching the ball and running with it. Last year, I ran the ball pretty ran like probably like 100-some yards and like 3 catches. So like I did pretty good in the offense.
So you're a football star, race car driver.
No
Not-
baseball?
All right, you got to like.
I'm not sure about that. I'm still debating on it
Yeah.
Why not?
because I don't know like when like baseball.
Well, baseball's
practices.
during the summer. That might interfere with your racing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like still like on the. I don't know yet. So
So do you have the ladies beating down your door? You know, like it's this football race car
no,
superstar.
I'm trying to focus on racing.
Oh, I see
No.
how you are.
Couple years ago I was last year I was.
You were a ladies' man.
Yeah, but like this year I'm not so much because I want to try to focus on my racing this year.
That's right. Ignore the ladies.
Yep.
They're just a distraction.
Yes, they
A
are.
race car is like a lady, though, a lot. I mean, they cost a lot of money, and they can be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
So just stick with the car, though. It's less disappointment.
Yep.
Back to the sprint car. Back to the sprint car. I saw early on you had a cheat sheet in your pocket. Tell us about your sponsors.
Oh, yeah, I have Fireman's Marines Construction.
You can read it off your list.
I
though.
don't have mine. It's down here.
I don't want you to miss any. Don't forget
that's-
Big D's Pizza.
That's our main sponsor is Fireland Marine Construction. They do pile driving stuff on the lake shore. They help us out a lot.
Yeah, I go 4-wheeling with them on the weekends. And
Yeah, they're
as
gonna
well.
they're paying for the car to get wrapped this year, and they buy tires and anything. I mean, they've been on it. If it's
They've been helping a lot.
yeah.
Sponsors are good.
Yeah.
There's more than one sponsor on that
Oh,
sheet.
oh
so
yeah.
Let's hear them.
Start from the top again.
Firelands Marine Construction. Homeless Parker Concrete, Megat Sandblasting and Painting, Big D's Pizza, Barton Concrete, North Coast Roofing. North Coast helped me with car washes this year.
They own a car wash and they give us a
Oh, that's a big
credit
deal.
card for every time after the race. We just wash the trailer, the truck, the car,
That's a good deal.
wife's car, whatever.
Vickery Tavern, they give us beer and pizza too, like
They
Big
give you-
D's.
They give you pop.
Yeah, they give you beer.
I wish. I'm joking. Sky Pipeline Services, they'll help out this year. They're out of Texas.
Yep.
A Plus Auto Center, they'll buy me a race car suit this year.
A Plus Auto Center out of Fostoria, Ohio.
Yep. Then
New driver's suit?
New driver's suit.
That's pretty cool.
That's impressive. I was pretty glad. That was pretty neat sponsorship.
yeah, he put it on Facebook, so I texted him immediately. I seen like 10 comments, and they were just commenting on it, so I just personally texted him because that's like.
Well, he's been
should do.
been walking around with Byron Reed. Byron Reed gave us a suit 2 years ago, right, when we first started.
Yeah, before I started.
And because we didn't have a suit, he had one, but it was kind of like it was mine, and
No, it was Matt. It was Matt's.
but it was big on him.
Little
so-
big.
Yeah, so
I was like,
He'll grow
too
into it.
big.
he's been walking. I mean, it's a nice suit, but he's been like everybody thinks there's Byron Reed.
And like it's getting too small in my stomach because I'm getting a little bit big.
Oh, you ain't getting that big.
Then I want to thank for all the people that helped me this year: Bob Stuckey, Matt Cobble, Darren Meggett, Josh Meggett, Mark and Alan,
Lever.
my dad,
There you go.
Yeah. Team Dad.
yeah,
Chuck and Willie.
Chuck and Willie, yeah,
Chuck Hughes and Will Babb.
yeah, they helped me a lot this year.
Yep. Those two guys, Chuck and Willie, were the guys that helped me on the late model
And they try to come up.
for a long time.
They try to come up like the art of Australia. They try to come up to help him sometimes, and
Now,
he's been in this sprint car stuff.
How much of a learning curve, or was there any there? Starting to work on the going from working on the late model to working on a sprint car. Was there a learning curve there?
I'm still learning. I'd
You're
say.
still
Yeah.
I think everything is different.
Yeah. There's no springs. Shocks are you got shocks, but
okay.
running torsion bars and
And it put torns in, quarter torn, half
you move the
torn.
wheels in and out. And I race late models. We was taught never to move the wheel in and out. I mean, back in the day, we'd move the wheel back in and out. But in the newer late models, we keep the wheel where it is.
Move the
And if you
J-ball.
space it out, you space it out maybe quarter or half-inch space or something.
But we space
Nothing
it out
drastic.
a lot.
Here we're going from 17 to
18,
18
15,
to
14,
16. I mean, just in and out.
and yeah.
All right then. So what are the plans for this season?
2-1-305s at Attica and Fremont to hit maybe a couple Waynesfield shows if they have them this year. Then whatever, like what else? The racing 305s, Attica was.
Gonna run for points both tracks then?
Yeah, I'm gonna run for points both tracks. Gonna run for AFC points again this year, and hopefully get like top 10 or top 5. Hopefully,
I was gonna say you can't run for the rookie again
no,
this year. You already got that.
Hopefully I pick off a win this year and don't have bad luck starting on the pole.
So your next race is probably looking at the Attica opener,
Yep.
March 20th.
It's March 20th. Yep.
You guys gonna be ready?
I hope it rains.
I mean,
It'll
probably snow.
I mean, snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be ready, but it's always, rush, rush, rush. It seems like.
For guys that build a car in 3 days, having it before March
you go.
20th shouldn't be a big deal.
I mean, I remember the late model days. I'd be working morning to night and thinking I'm never going to be ready for this opening because
Yeah.
Attica always opened first, and that's where I always race. So I mean, you get her in and get her done, and you're ready.
Well, so you have until St. Patrick's Day. That should give you enough time to get the car ready.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
I think it would be good too.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in, Larry Kingseed Sr. and Larry Kingseed Jr.
Thank you.
You're mostly retired, helping out Junior here with
Yeah.
the sprint car deal. So that's a pretty cool deal.
I'm gonna get him back in it this year.
We were going to run Oak Shade to the non-wing show
The boss
this year,
show?
but it rained out.
And
And then when they rescheduled it, they rescheduled against a race we were racing because I don't think we were racing that day that the original schedule was on.
Yeah, I wanted to try non-wing show, and it was on a circuit racetrack like Oakshade is usually.
So
Same
did you,
car?
Did you guys? Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you guys go to the boss show up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it was the track really dry?
Kind of work there, so I kind of have
Yeah,
to.
Was the
It's-
track dry and slick like they said it was going to be, or?
It was a little choppy. A couple of the guys complained, but
It was pretty decent
by and
racing.
large, the racing was great. The fans loved it.
Most of the drivers, I think, love it too. It was
Yeah.
later in the season, though, that I think that something got figured out with the track. It was after the boss thing where there was a lot more tackiness to it. late in
Yep,
the
they
season.
found something, and the track, the last probably 5, maybe even 6 shows.
I want to
was-
say like from
was-
the end of August.
was very good.
So, but the boss show I think was rescheduled that first week or second weekend in August. So I don't
Yeah.
But they're coming back this year. I don't remember the date off the top of my head, but maybe it'd be cool to see you out there. If it
Yeah,
doesn't
I have to
conflict
work
with-
for it. I have to work for that race.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out. So, But anyways, good luck on everything you do. Good luck
thank you.
on the points there at Attica, Fremont, and the AFCS deal.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate you bringing in Big D's Pizza.
Yeah, thanks for having us
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah, thanks, Dean, again.
Hey, thanks, Dean.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. We're not quite done. Just a couple things to do here before we wrap things up. Last week's How Many. It's time to play How Many, where you could win your very own Big D's Pizza, like John Young did. And I
Yeah.
think he won 4 of them and went there and collected this past weekend. So, yeah, it's good. It's good pizza. We can attest to that now. Now we can endorse it.
Yeah,
Now
oh,
that we've actually had
absolutely.
it. Last week's How Many was how many laps will the winning car finish in the Rolex 24 this past weekend?
The 24 hours, yeah.
The 24-hour race, yeah. And, of course, it was the record 833 laps were completed. So the winner in the studio, because we have 2 separate winners, a winner online and a winner in the studio. Was
Yeah, who was the winner in the studio, Scott?
Ron Miller!
Wow, imagine that.
You guessed 798. So you were the closest in the studio. Online, Dean Henry had guessed 825. So he was
Ooh.
actually the overall closest, but he says he can't win because he gives away the pizza. So I went to the next closest, which was John Brooks, this week's winner. He guessed 799.
All right.
I was going to go on there and guess 820.
So you would have got, well, you get free pizza anyways.
Yeah.
So this week's How Many, if you want to win a free pizza courtesy of Big D's Pizza out there in Clyde, all you have to do is make sure you're on our Facebook live video comments. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio and it's not live, you can still get in on this as long as it's before Sunday night. Just leave a comment. Just find it on Facebook and leave your comments with your guess. And the number for this week, it's How Many, is...
Total number of points at the Super Bowl.
Did you see my notes?
No, I'm a clairvoyant, Scott.
How many total points will be scored in the Super Bowl on Sunday? Yeah.
Ooh,
Thanks for
okay.
stealing my thunder. Jeez. So we'll let our guests guess first.
Yeah.
Where's my pen that doesn't work? Here we go. So
You can go first. I'm not sure.
how many total points?
I'd say 57 total points.
50. That's not a bad guess.
Total? Total?
That's both teams.
That's both teams combined.
So it was 21 to
Can I use my
13.
phone? I'm going to use my phone.
Again,
Calculator.
No, you
we
can
don't
use your
have phone a friend. That is not an option in this. All right, we'll come back to you.
He's got
We'll
to
come
get his
back to you.
calculator out.
What do you got?
57?
57. Well, he said 57.
Oh, okay.
That was a good number, wasn't it?
I know. I was 58.
58? Okay. Kathy's got 58. Are you
It's
ready?
like Price is Right, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you can go over, though. It's whoever's
Oh,
closest.
he had my number. So I'll go.
You better go 59.
I'm going with 60.
60. All right.
Wait, how much did you pick? 57?
Yeah.
I'm going to do another 3 more points. Field goal.
Okay.
60.
60. It's good. From what I hear, it could be a shootout.
High-scoring game.
Yeah, high-scoring game. What do you got, Ron? And not that I follow any of these teams, really.
Doot, 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 doot.
You had all this time.
60, 62.
62.
Safety.
Wow.
Safety.
Going up higher.
See, there was a time when Cleveland played, I always counted by threes because
yeah.
Phil Dawson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably safe.
Do I get to guess?
Yeah, you want to play it since
Yeah, I'm
Robin,
here.
my crew chief, is here, so we're...
Might as well play too.
What's your guess?
The amazing crew chief, Miss Robin.
36.
30. Wow, it's going to be a low-scoring game for you.
It's either going to be top notch or be
Okay.
a dud. That's what they said this morning.
I'll
Are they
go
gonna
with...
be really up there or really down.
I'm going to go with 56 points then.
We're pretty close right there then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of points. So,
think
again, if you want to play along online, just leave your comment in the Facebook Live comments. Whoever guesses, there's 2 people that guess the same number. Whoever guessed it first will get credit, and you can only guess once. So your first guess is the one that's going to count. So make it count. And you can, like I said, you don't have to be listening to us live on Thursday night. You can put your guess in anytime before. We'll say about 6. Super Bowl starts, I think, 6:30.
So what if somebody edits their post? Would you know that?
I think it tells you.
I think.
Oh, it'd say edited.
I don't think you can edit a reply.
I think you
Oh,
can
yes, you
edit
can.
it. You can edit it.
I
It
think
tells
it'll
you
tell
last
me.
time it edited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it'll
it
tell
says edited.
me. Yeah.
So, okay.
If you edit it, I'm gonna just disqualify you.
You're out.
You're getting DQ'd for doing donuts on the horse track.
That's it.
You're out. Upcoming races, of course, the ARCA race down. Well, we got the Lucas Oil Series kicking off tomorrow. We got the All-Stars on Wednesday. Around here, we're not going to get any racing until March 20th. Attica Raceway Park has their season opener scheduled with the 410 Sprints, UMP late models, and the 305s.
Yep.
So that's where you can catch Larry Kingseed Jr. in the 21 305 Sprint car.
Yep.
And that's it for this week's show.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. I think that's
On to number 118 then.
number 118 next week, February 6th, and I don't have anything planned yet for that.
Really?
If anybody else has pizza they want to bring in,
More power
hit
to
me
you.
up.
Yeah.
Scott Hammer at iHeartMedia.com. Shoot me an email. We'll work things out.
Wasn't Chris going to be on next week?
Oh, that's right. Chris Garrett. You're right. I forgot about that. Chris Garrett from Butler will be our guest next week.
and
I believe we'll be talking to him on the phone.
about the wall falling down and their big plans for 2020.
Yeah, they got some new events, including Summer Nationals.
Yeah,
date.
that's a big deal.
Midweek date, too. So, yeah, we'll be talking to Chris. Man,
See?
I'm glad I have you here. That's next week's show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for us. It's time to go.
Come on, Scott.
Yeah. Thanks again to Larry Kingseed, Larry Kingseed Jr.,
Thank you.
Ron Miller,
Scott
Kathy,
Hammer?
Robin, Big D's Pizza for the pizza.
Oh, man.
Anytime you want to have a Big D's Pizza in the studio, just don't tell our engineers, and we'd be more than happy to have it. So again, don't forget to listen to us on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google, or every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope. We'll see you.
And wherever you listen to us, make sure you like us.
Even if you don't like us, just click the like
Like
button.
us.
Doesn't mean you actually have to like us. So, yeah, we're out. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.